All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of The Blind View here on Rumble. Miss Rebecca Meadows is running a bit late, but she will be joining us very soon. So, who wants to start us off?
Well, hi everyone. Hope everyone having a good day, good evening. So it's me for now, Mr. Brandon and Mr. Paul. So
Yes, good evening, everyone. The Brandonator live with you here on Rumble. Good to be here. I like being in communities where freedom of speech exists. Good to be here.
Well, I figured, Anya, since I am a man who believes in chivalry, I should probably let you go first for your discussion.
today I wanted to cover the topic of physical activity. So I just wanted to hear what you guys do for staying active as a blind person because everyone knows it does make a difference whether you can see or not. You cannot just go and jog in a park or, randomly show up in the fitness center and know it all, like know how to use all those machines and how to get around. So it does take some challenges to overcome. So I was just wondering to hear what you guys do at all, like to do some activities, some physical activity.
Oh, would you like to start, or would you?
I can share what I do. I mean, I do enjoy moving. It's definitely my thing. When I lived in a different state, when I lived in Minnesota, I did go to YMCA. And before that, in my college, I was fortunate enough to be able to play my blind card successfully. So well, the deal was that when you go to the rec center at school, and if you want to have a personal trainer, you get a couple of weeks to get you started. And those trainers were students too, who were learning the physical activity. Um, and then they assign you a trainer, but in 2 weeks they let you loose. So they show you everything, and you can be on your own. But because I was blind, so they continued this for me throughout the semester.
All right,
So I pretty much always had a personal trainer.
cool.
Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
it was very nice. I learned quite a lot. I mean, of course, there were weeks that they couldn't do it or I couldn't do it, but most of the time we met pretty regularly. And I did some exercise on the machine and on the mats. And yeah, I learned quite a lot. Um, Something I really want to do is to do yoga. But I haven't been able to find a blind friendly yoga instructor in this area where I live. A couple that I reached out to like last year or so, they kind of freaked out about the fact that I couldn't see.
Yeah.
And yeah, and they offered group classes, which are more economical, but this is definitely not for me, for somebody who doesn't know much. I mean, I know basic yoga. I have had some exposure to it, let's say. um and I do some exercises at home, so some yoga poses and stuff. It's really good. It really feels very nice. But I'm still on a quest to find somebody. I know it's very pricey, so if I were to choose between going and paying for yoga or go to get a massage, I'll go for a massage because I enjoy it a lot more.
Well,
So,
let me ask you this: Do you
um,
think there was a lot of value in a personal trainer, or do you think you didn't really need it like after those 2 weeks?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I need it. Because well, for one thing, we would meet like, and the trainer would walk.
And by the way, guys, Becca has joined.
Oh, hi, back.
Welcome. Good evening, Becca.
We cannot hear you, back.
can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes, we
Oh
can.
yeah, there
Perfect.
we go.
Okay. Um,
Yeah. So, yeah, we kind of got started without you. Gino gave us a go, so we kind of delve into it.
so I just came in about 20 seconds ago, and Anya, I heard you talking about yoga. There is a woman who is visually impaired or totally blind. I don't remember, who has experience as like a fitness instructor, and she knows yoga and all that. she actually did a series of audio described yoga and audio described just lots of like I think she also did what is that women used to do back in the 80s, you know? I don't remember what it's called when they get together in groups, but my
Well,
mom.
wasn't there a tactile mat too that maybe went with that system? Because I thought I remember there being
I kind of
somebody
remember
came
that
out with a
too.
tactile mat.
Yeah, there are. But I never heard about a tactile mat, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised. You know what I mean? And like my massage therapist, and he's also my life coach. He did some yoga with me and taught me some yoga. You know what I mean? And so if you're lucky enough to find someone who knows yoga who'll teach you one on one, that'll work. But these I'm pretty sure it was called Young and Alive was um, what this gal called her fitness thing, right? So you could go online and try to find it. I know last time I talked to her, she was trying to find a way to make money with it, and I don't know if she ever did anything with it though, because like I don't think she ever found any way to make money with it. But the thing is, she might still have the audio files on her computer that she could just send to you. Last time I spoke to her, she did still have all of that stuff.
Well, see, it's an interesting idea, but as for me personally, I am a hands-on learner. I don't know about you guys, but for me, listening to descriptions does not really work. I need to be shown. And yeah, I mean, I understand the words, I understand what they mean, and I can put them into action sometimes, but a lot of times I don't get it right. So, and sometimes it's just a waste of time. I don't know. For me, again, I would much prefer to do one on one. But you weren't here, Becca, yet. But I was saying that I was trying to find an instructor here locally, but they were not really blind friendly. Like they did not really want to work with a blind person. Um, and again, I didn't look too hard. Like there are a couple of other studios around here. I didn't. I kind of gave up at that point. But um,
Well, it depends on how badly you want it. Like you'll keep looking, until you find somebody.
yeah.
So how large is your community, Anya? Like how many? What's your population? You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't know. That's a couple 100,000. It's a college town, so we
Oh,
have some people. But again, like I need to be careful with picking somebody who's relatively close, so I don't have to.
you could call the college and explain to them, be like, hey, I'm blind and I'm interested in doing yoga. I'm wondering if you guys have any students there who are currently studying yoga who would like somebody to teach what they're learning to help them secure, concrete it in their own mind. Because when you teach somebody what you're learning, it helps you learn it that much better. And so I just remember when I lived in Missoula, like the local university was a really good resource, you know. So you could call them and ask them if they have anything like that.
Yeah, that's a thought too. And like since my topic is not only about yoga, it's about physical activity in general. I also like to run and do things like. Have you guys heard of Achilles International?
No.
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 Oh wow, you haven't? Oh, it's like nationwide, and maybe even like as the name says, international. So they have affiliates, like they have a representation in many states, many cities. Unfortunately, not in mine, but there is a group in Kansas City. So basically, they have volunteers who are sighted, and they run with you. So if you want to do a marathon, or if you just want to go
Oh,
for a walk, or if you want to practice running, like you can do all that kind of thing, and it is fun. But again, in my case, it's in Kansas City. It's like an hour away from me. And they meet on Saturdays, like 10 o'clock in the morning or something like that. Um, but when I lived in Colorado, the whole center, I remember we would go, and then we had volunteers and we did some running. It was fun.
Hmm.
and do they work like mostly with blind or visually impaired people, or just people of all with all kinds of limitations?
Well, I assume they have more than just blind people, but when we came to our practice, there was nobody else. There was just us.
Uh-huh.
So, and they guide you. I guess the idea is to, they use like little tether. They put something on their arm and on your arm, so you don't have to hold on to them.
Uh-huh.
But they basically run next to you. Yeah, and people do races and marathons, and it's just cool. I mean, I love to be active in this regard. We try to take walks, at least here, almost daily throughout the week. Like we take walks like for 30, 40, 45 minutes. Yeah. But what about you guys? How do you guys stay active?
Um, I historically have, because I lived up in Montana for so long where it was so cold, I have always, at least ever since I left my husband, I've always had a treadmill in my bedroom that I use.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
I don't have it set up at the new house yet. We're still unpacking. But then I also have a punching bag that at the old house I kept out on the veranda, and here I think I'm going to put it in the garage. Um, and um, and we have we've got a treadmill and then this other like elliptical machine that we just bought that we need to take out of the box that my boyfriend and I can both use.
Mhm.
Because his leg is injured, so he can't really use the treadmill. Um, and so we got a machine that he can use too. So
Yeah, treadmills are good. It's the best option if you don't have anybody to go for a walk with or a run with. I have a
oh yeah,
treadmill. I love it.
and that's exactly why I got my treadmill, Anya. Is yeah, because um, being blind, yeah, it's fun getting out with my cane and exploring. But if I want to just walk for exercise, I want to be able to zone out and listen to my music and not worry about getting lost. So that's why I do my treadmill when I'm exercising.
But yeah, that's true. But also on top of that, you can't really pick up the speed when you walk with a cane unless you know your area so well and you're super duper good cane user. Maybe, but I cannot walk super fast, like to the point where you can actually burn calories and get some exercise out of the walk.
Dude, when I lived in Missoula, the YMCA there has well, they have a basketball court, and then on the floor above the basketball court, they have a track that goes around the court, and you can walk up there or run up there, and it's like two lanes, right? Two very wide lanes, and then like a side area, right? And I used to go to the YMCA when I was in Missoula with my cane, and I used to run or walk or jog on that track with my cane because I was usually the only one on it every once in a while. I think the whole time I lived there and I was doing that, I bet I ran into less than a dozen people on the track too. You know what I mean? Because not a lot of people exercised. A lot of people went to the mall in Missoula and walked for exercise. But
Yeah, or played basketball, probably like you're saying.
yeah, yeah. So,
Well, yeah.
but that's a good option. And a lot of communities have YMCA's or they have Boys and Girls Clubs or things like that. And I'm sure Boys and Girls Club, well, I don't honestly don't know what their policies are. I know the YMCA is open to people of all ages.
Well, and by the way, didn't there used to be a YWCA as well, or was that not an actual thing?
Yeah, there are YWCA's. There was a YWCA in Missoula too, but see the YMCA was more like the gym where everybody goes to work out and have good times, right? And the YWCA was about protecting women. So what they did was they protected, or they collected donations from the community to help women and children in need, and they had like shelters in the community for women who were escaping from a domestic violence situation, and they had counseling programs for women going through those things and stuff like that. That's what the YWCA in Missoula did, I think. Was those
Oh, but they weren't really focused on like as much like athleticism as the YMCA. Oh, huh.
well,
I didn't
Missoula's a
know.
very small community, and it couldn't support two gymnasiums like that. Like,
I
you
didn't.
know, I mean, I went to the YMCA all the time before I met my husband, right? And so I probably for like the first, let's see, I moved there in '97. For
The
at
only
least
thing, the only thing I would say though is for people who don't know, the YMCA and YWCA stands for Young Men's Christian Association and Young Women's Christian Association. Just so you know, if you're put
right.
off by that, I don't think that it is only Christians that go there, and certainly
So
they don't ask you if you're you don't have to be a Christian, but just so everybody know, that is what it stands for.
Anya
Yeah,
was just
I,
yeah,
Anya was
they
just
were probably started by Christians,
Anya was
right?
just singing "Y'all Missed Out."
I
Yeah.
heard Anya singing. So everybody now, it's Anya's turn. She has the floor.
No, no, I was just singing YMCA song.
I know, I was just teasing you.
That was good.
Yeah. What about you, Paul? What do you do for staying active?
I'm a lazy bum, so I don't do really anything. No, but in all in all seriousness, I'm kind of. There are times where I go into kind of spurts. Like we have stairs at the house, and I'll run up and down those X amount of times, to burn calories. And honestly, a lot of people go to the gym, and that's great, but um, you could do so much in your house, whether it's having a treadmill or if you do a lot of push-ups or if you do sit-ups. I mean, you really can work out so much
Oh
in
yeah.
your home. And that's, if I'm being active, that's how I generally am. Um, I don't mind, say, going on a walk with others. I would enjoy that quite a bit. I feel like, or I do enjoy that quite a bit. But I don't. We have a park right by our house, and I don't really venture out there much. Because I don't really. I'm not super familiar with it. I have been. I've done it before, but I don't really enjoy just going on a walk by myself. I enjoy a lot more of that with other people. Um,
Here, here.
so
Um,
if I'm doing any sort of exercise, it's usually within kind of my own house, and I prefer to keep it that way. And some days I go, or some weeks I go on spurts of it and go, man, I need to really work out and get healthier, and then I stop. And I think, it's with me, it's I used to weightlift when I was in high school and middle school, and I loved it because I was gaining muscle and bulking up, and I won't say I was bulking up. I've always had a small frame, but um, I felt like there was kind of a purpose to doing that, and I haven't really gotten back into doing that for a while. So I can't say I'm the most active person in the world.
But do you think blindness has anything to do with this? Like you say, you don't want to venture out in the park, and
I
uh,
think to an extent, yes, and I'll say uh, there's a lot of people that I know that going to the gym and running is a social activity,
mhm.
and I feel like in our shoes or in our circumstances, people may be more hesitant, like you was talking about, Anya, to invite someone who's blind to an activity such as that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, for me, gym environment is more stressful than helpful. That's what
yeah.
I find. I mean, I think Brandon was asking me, right? If classes personal trainers helped me. Yes, they definitely did because trainers have showed me what I could do by myself,
Mhm.
and to me, just the matter of you know, the matter of will. Like if I need to have a strong will to do it, like not to be lazy, but it's possible to do it at home. But in the gym, like it's loud music and all these machines, it's very echoey,
Um,
and you're afraid to walk from one machine to another because you don't know, people are not watching, they can whack you on your head by accident or something.
yeah, I have to. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
yeah.
I have to agree with Anya. I prefer to work out at home than at the gym, not because I'm embarrassed by my body, but because I prefer my equipment because my biggest reason is because I can set it independently and I'm not
Yeah.
going to have problems with it. When I go to a public gym, I never know if I'm going to be able to set the equipment, or turn it on, or and you know what I mean, because all the equipment's always different from one manufacturer to the next, or from one model to the next.
And I do know of blind people that have gone to the gym and done it successfully. I just think honestly the gym is more of a really a social thing because you can do all those like you're saying, Becca, at your house.
You guys,
You can, but I have to disagree though. See, I actually looked into my insurance. They will give me a gym membership, and I actually like the idea of a gym because I don't have all the equipment. Plus, at the gym you can measure. You can measure your improvement.
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back.
Hi, it's me, your favorite author, Rebecca S. Meadows, here with another message. You can go up to Amazon and search Rebecca Meadows author to get your hands on each of my books. And each book is available in Kindle, digital download, Amazon print on demand, or on Audible. So enjoy, and please send me an email at beccameadows76@gmail.com and let me know what you thought of my book, okay? Oh, and please go up and write a review for me too. Thank you. Peace out.
Okay, guys, I wanted to add one thing on the topic of working out, now that we're back from the commercial break. Here in Phoenix, there is a gym called Ability 360 that is an accessible gym to the disabled. Everything is handicap accessible. All of the equipment, like the instructions, are all in Braille.
Oh, that's neat.
And they have staff members in there that will orient you to the gymnasium or to the equipment itself, and they'll give you like basically like physical trainer services, but adapted for the disabled. You know what I mean?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I'm sure, Brandon, you're probably familiar with Ability 360, right?
I am, and actually, that is one of the supported gyms. So I have actually thought about getting a membership.
Yeah,
but I agree with those of you that say you don't need a gym. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just and I feel like I would benefit from people that keep me accountable. I'm pretty good at maintaining weight for whatever reason, fortunately. And I've adopted intermittent fasting, so that's helped just my body overall in terms of blood sugar, blood pressure, cholesterol. It's just helped overall. But I think I would, like, I don't exercise on a regular basis. I just don't. I'm one of those Americans. And so if I were going to start, I would want somebody to be like, come on, man, let's go. Come on, get your butt up. Come on, let's go. And I'd be like, all right. And then we'd get there and it'd be good. I think that would be good for me.
I have a friend who still does run, but when she was a young child, she grew up in the Northeast. She would run like 3 miles to church and then 3 miles back home.
Oh,
And
wow.
she still runs today. She does marathons and half marathons all the time. And as a matter of fact, a couple of months ago, she broke her streak of running every day. How long was her streak? 425 days.
Oh, wow.
She ran for 425 days straight.
I don't even aspire to get that healthy.
Yeah. Incredible. Yes.
That would be my knees.
And people ask her, well, why'd you quit? She goes, because if I didn't quit now, there'd be no reason I would never quit. So eventually I had to stop. And, it was funny. One Saturday, she said, well, you don't know. So I hate when people say, but one Saturday she was talking to us and she said something along the lines of, yeah, I got up late today. I like to go on a run on Saturdays, but I got up late, so I didn't get to run as much. And someone asked, how much did you run today? She goes, 9 miles.
Oh, wow.
My gosh, dude. No, I have a cousin that's done that too, like marathons and even triathlon. I'm just like, yeah, no, don't even care. Good for you. I don't even aspire to.
I
Yeah,
don't think
that's
I
more.
do either. I really don't. I want to see a reward, I guess. And some would say when you do a marathon, that's rewarding. But
Hey, guys, I'll tell you this. I might actually earn some brownie points with the audience. I don't give a crap about 10,000 steps, okay? I know gas, right? Yeah, no, I don't. I set mine to 6,000 because I think 6,000 is roughly a mile. So I just figured, hey, if I can do 6,000 there and 6,000 back, that's pretty good. I'm okay
I
with
don't
that.
even count that. I don't even have any device
I
to do
know.
it. I'm not
Everybody
interested.
today, I've got to get my 10,000 steps. That's like 5 miles. 5 miles.
And I don't think it measures that accurately. I mean,
I'm
step
kind of
is
done. Yeah.
different from step to step. You know,
Yeah. I
you
mean,
can walk to the bathroom and it'll be like 15 steps, and you can walk slow, you can walk fast. I mean, come on, it's just to make you feel good. Oh, I've did this many steps. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Going up and down my stairs, we have 2 flights of
Whatever.
stairs, each 8. I mean, you start doing that for a time, and by the 6th time, you'll start to feel it in your legs. You'd think, oh, it's just stairs, but no. You start to do it 1, 2, 3, 4, go up and down them.
Do you know
each
how many
time.
steps that is? How many steps does that give you?
Well, if you do 6 of them, what do you mean? Like,
I'm just saying, everybody. Oh, gotta get my
it's like
10,000.
40. You want 48 steps, or do you want? I mean, that's technically only 48.
Everybody just obsessed with that 10,000 steps a day. I don't care about it, but everybody, 10,000 steps.
Did you guys know?
Well, they're an idiot.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys know? At least this is how pedometers worked when I last had one years ago. When you get on a treadmill with a pedometer, it doesn't count all your steps. Like, I think what it does is it counts your movements on the earth via the satellite. Because I tried it when I had a pedometer years ago, and like I said, when I would use my treadmill, it really seemed like it didn't count my steps while I was on my treadmill with it on. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know.
And that's
kind of makes
frustrating because I exercise on my treadmill I used to for an hour every day. I don't have it set up here yet, right? But it's really frustrating when you exercise for an hour a day on your treadmill, but your pedometer won't count those steps. You know?
Now let me tell you guys about an ad that I keep seeing on YouTube. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it sounds pretty cool. I haven't bought it. But there's this company called Hume, right? Hume. And they make apparently a bunch of different things. I used to see it for the Hume Pod. Now I guess they have a Hume Band. But anyway, guys, for real, check it out. So the Hume Band at least is like, so people are like, oh, I have a Fitbit. What's the big deal? But I mean, at least
does the Hume do?
Right?
Can you tell us about what the Hume?
Well, no, that's the company. So you'd have to say, oh, I have a Hume Band or a Hume Pod or whatever. But apparently it measures a whole bunch of things, and it's supposed to be like 98% as accurate as a DEXA scan. And the good thing about it is they say that with a DEXA scan, you get a bunch of data, but no actionable advice. But with like a Hume Band or a Hume Pod, you actually get 98% of that data plus actionable advice. So it's like, I don't know. I haven't ordered
what
one,
I would say is if it's a YouTube ad, make sure you look at all kinds of reviews from all kinds of people.
For sure.
Because
I agree
what I have seen with YouTube ads is, hey, YouTube's not putting them up there for free.
Right.
So they got to pay YouTube. And if they're able to pay YouTube, then they're making a lot of money. And how they're making that money is the real question. So just make sure if you're going to buy it, make sure you look at the reviews.
Maybe the Hume Bands are really great, and that's why they're making so much money. That's what you would hope. Right?
I mean, it's just a cool concept, right? It's like, hey, if I can get 98% of DEXA accuracy plus the actionable advice on what the heck does it mean, what do I do with it? Like, I'm all about that.
I just feel like I've seen more.
So you know what I think would be cool? You know how they have these machines that can do like a heart test? I'm trying to remember what it's called, like an EKG on your heart.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sure you guys have seen the commercials for them.
Oh no, I've actually had it done, so I know very well what you mean.
Yeah. I wish that in these Fitbit devices that track your pulse and everything like that, I wish it would also track that information and give you that information.
See, and that's what this Hume stuff does. It tracks like metabolic stuff. It tracks, yeah, all kinds of, a whole bunch of different. So, but I agree with Paul though. It is kind of buyer beware. I'm not advocating or demeaning Hume as a company. I'm just saying the concept is cool.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
I look at it like I kept seeing advertisements for a company called Rapid Radios, and they was advertising all over YouTube. They was advertising all over the radio, talking about how these radios was good for elderly individuals and good for kids and good for job sites. And I went online and seen that, oh well, they have no reviews because if ever you try to write a review or comment on their YouTube videos, they block you. Or
Oh.
if people try to suggest things, they don't want to hear it, or the comments are always turned off with their company. And so I use them as an example because, I just feel like a lot of times we see a lot of ads on YouTube and the products ain't necessary. What I'm saying is you can get a lot better products if you do actually research. Like, I'm not saying that all of them are bad, but I think a lot of times that's how it is.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I never ever just buy on YouTube alone. No, never. So I agree with you. You should always do your own due diligence. Yeah, I agree.
I think my friends some friends I know, seen some ads on YouTube for some pillows or something that supposedly would put your neck in a good position so you would sleep better, and they took forever to get here, and then they really wasn't all that comfortable when they arrived. And I think they spent quite a bit of money on them. So yeah, you should always do your research. And speaking of tracking, did we lose Anya?
No, I'm still here. I'm listening. I just don't.
Okay. But by the same token, I think we can all agree, like objectively, My Pillow, the stuff from My Pillow is pretty dang good. I mean, they've been around a long time.
We have My Pillow. Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I had it for years.
Yeah. See. So not everything is a scam, but a lot of things are. So.
Right.
So I ordered My Pillow slippers years ago.
What'd you think?
Well, I have really big feet. And I just felt like the slippers were a little snug, and my feet sweated so bad in the slippers because they were very well insulated. Like they were very soft on the inside, so they felt really good on my feet. But like I said, when I wear them around the house, just after a short period of time, like maybe 10 minutes walking through the house, like I would feel like my feet would be sweating really bad because they were so warm.
Oh, you should have wore them in North Dakota in the wintertime.
Well, yeah, but I was in Arizona. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, I wear warm slippers only in the winter time. Like when it's hot, obviously, like there's no point. I wear open toe or like some kind of light shoes.
Would you guys believe I had never worn slippers until 2024? Yep.
What happened in 2024?
Well, in 2024, that's when I was going through the dag blasted cancer journey. And so all that crap they put in my body, sometimes I didn't just want to put on like shoes, but then when I wore socks, my feet were too friggin' cold. And so my wife was like, you should try slippers. They're not just for old people. You should try slippers. I'm like, all right, I'll try slippers. I guess I'll try slippers. So, yeah.
I am so used to wearing slippers. I mean, I can always step outside. I don't have to put shoes on. And I don't want to step in a cat puke if that happens. So
yeah,
I don't know.
That is a thing.
I really don't like wearing slippers.
It turns out I do. I actually do.
Like when I woke up from my coma in 1989, there were Hutterites at the hospital because there were some Hutterite people that were in the hospital, right? And while I was in my coma, some of the Hutterite women, they did this for a lot of patients up there. They crocheted or knitted booties for the patients. And so when I woke up from my coma, I had these really nice hand crocheted or hand knitted booties on my feet. And I took those home from the hospital. And I think I I think they even sent some extra pairs home with me, right? And I just remember putting those on my feet. Oh, they felt so good.
Oh, I
They're
got
my
you.
favorite slippers, and I've never found any store-bought slipper that comes close to making my feet feel as good as those handmade slippers from the Hutterite women did.
I don't. I don't know if I've ever worn slippers. I mean,
I hadn't either, dude. I hadn't either.
I think I've put my feet in them just to do it, but like to
Uh-huh.
actually wear them around the house, whatever. I mean, if y'all do it, that's fine. For me personally, I think they're dumb. I wear socks. What do you?
I
What, I
used to
mean,
think. I know, dude. I know. I used to
what do
feel
you
the same
want?
way. Yeah.
What do you want? If you
Yeah.
go outside, put some dang shoes on. If you don't, go inside and put some socks on. What? Why do you want a slipper? What are they supposed to do for you? If your feet
Because
are
at
cold,
the time
turn the heat up.
I was debilitated at the time.
I understand you was, but like for me personally, I don't get it. Turn the heat up if your feet are cold. I mean, it's not for I don't understand it
Put
personally.
shoes, somebody's shoes, and walk a mile in them. Paul.
I'm
You
sorry.
know, I said, put on somebody's shoes and walk a mile. You know
I
that
don't
saying?
want to do that because they won't fit me.
I used to feel the same way though. I can relate, Paul. I used to feel the same way. So
I heard that joke about this, about putting somebody's shoes and walking in somebody's shoes a mile. I was like, yeah, uh, put shoes and walk a mile, and that way you're a mile away and you got their shoes.
Yes.
right.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
well.
or I heard a similar joke from the radio station that I heard that joke from, and the joke was, if at first you don't succeed, stop it. You shouldn't be sucking seed in the first place.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
I have
That
some
was
jokes for you guys.
what a wimpy way to think. Okay.
So, what do you call 100 rabbits hopping backwards?
Oh.
Uh,
I think is this the one that the punchline is a fractured hairline?
No, it's not.
Okay.
oh, that was a good trend. I don't know. I don't know what.
It's a receding hairline.
Receding hairline. I beg your pardon.
Oh, you were
I
close,
beg your pardon. I
Paul.
was close. I was close.
Yeah, you were close. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know any jokes that are appropriate for the podcast.
So, I know another joke.
What?
What happened to the frog's car?
Oh, I know what happened
It
to
got
it.
towed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
Hanging out
Gotta
with
feed the
veterans,
meter.
you hear a lot of
Gotta
jokes.
feed the meter.
So,
What?
I've been hanging out with veterans and I hear a lot of jokes from veterans.
I gotcha.
Well, that's good. So Paul, Paul is left for that topic? Did you want to? I don't know what Becca's was, but we kind of all been all over the place with that topic. When Becca joined, but
I am bin 13 tonight, you guys. So I'm willing to talk about anything and everything.
Well, I wanted to kind of bring up, for a variety of reasons, a lot of different things have kind of happened in my life recently to where I thought this topic might be interesting. And my question for the group tonight is, do you think that it is ever okay to tell someone how they should or should not mourn for an individual? In my life currently, there's quite a few individuals who are going through some very difficult times. And someone that I know recently lost some family members. Another person, their husband is unfortunately passing away, and another, and so there's all different kinds of things happening in my life where I'm meeting a lot of individuals who are going through some very, very tough trials. And the reason I thought this might be kind of an interesting discussion is because I was also listening to an old radio show that I used to listen to, called because I couldn't sleep for whatever reason. And they was talking about, and this is like I said, a long time ago, so y'all may remember this story. A lady who her kids had passed away tragically in a fire in May. Their house, I guess, burnt down and her kids passed away. Well, come October, for Halloween, she opened up her house and made it a haunted house. And she like put pictures of her kids in it, and like there was cemeteries, and people paid, and she charged people to go into her house and use it as a haunted house. And a lot of people thought that was not the right thing to do because you're profiting on your kids that passed away. And other people said, well, hang on a second. It's her loss. She can grieve any way she wants. She lost the kids. Losing kids is the hardest thing you'll ever go through. So I thought, wow, what a interesting discussion. So I thought I'd bring it up on the podcast.
Well, I think anybody that would participate in something like that, I mean, it's up to them. I would never go to one of those things. I find that tacky, you know.
I mean, I personally think that is creepy as can be, and I would not be comfortable with that one bit.
Right.
I would actually. I would consider going.
Would you pay?
Because
So are you guys at all concerned about haunted houses? Because you know there are actual haunted houses out there. Like, what do you guys think about haunted houses where living people have allegedly been attacked by spirits?
I don't know how much I buy into that, but in this particular case, then I think it's a little creepy what this lady was doing. If it's true story, I mean, I think she's capitalizing on the death.
That's how I looked at it. That's how I looked at it.
Well, there are actual haunted houses, guys. Remember the place that Gina and I and our crew taped Baby Backs in is an actual bona fide haunted house. And like when we were filming there, remember Gino talking about it? I think he talked about it on one of the shows, or maybe I'm sure he talked about it on one of the shows. I think he was talking about how he could feel spirits in the house as the director, as he was going around the house doing things. I didn't spend as much time in the house as Gino did, right?
Well, I actually don't think that all spirits are evil. And by the way, what I said earlier, yes, I was raised up in the church, you guys, but I have expanded my mind a lot since those early formative days. And so now I don't think that all spirits, if we want to assume that people believe in that, I mean, there are some that believe all spirits other than the Holy Spirit are inherently evil. I don't necessarily subscribe to that. And so I just think, like, if I were murdered in my house, and and it was tragic because it really had a negative effect on my children or whatever, but if I were, and somebody wanted to come in here and drink my favorite whiskey or drink my favorite coffee or play my kind of music, like, I would be okay with that. And I might indeed try to interact with them, but it wouldn't be to hurt them. It would be like, okay, thank you for the memory, like, okay.
But I guess the question here is about, like, it's not about whether the spirits are good or bad. It's about the creepiness of it. Like, it's kind of unsettling.
So Brandon would be the friendly ghost.
Except I don't know if I would come off that way. But the thing is, I wouldn't mind if people weren't making fun of me. I mean, like, in a mean, rude way. Like, they could poke fun at me. Like, yeah, remember that guy? He would always say blah, 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 blah. I wouldn't mind that.
He's an idiot.
I mean, yeah. See, that's what I would mind. That's when I would knock your coffee cup off the table on purpose. So.
Do you guys, well, this topic is kind of mixed topic now, but do you guys believe that there are people who actually can have those spiritual sessions, like when they talk to the ghosts and you can ask them questions, or is this a bunch of bullshit?
Oh, like,
Is it spiritism? I can't remember.
I
Like
think
mediums and that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I think I believe in it. And I'll tell you why. Because if you guys have read the Bible, it even talks in the Bible about black magic characters.
It does. It does. It does.
You know what I mean? And
It
so,
does, and that's why I'll say I think it's. That's why I think you have to be. That was funny. That's why I think you have to be very careful. Really, in all seriousness, I think you have to be very careful.
Yeah, and a lot of it is scam for sure. People just making money. When you look up, I saw on Facebook in our local group, somebody was asking about somebody, they're looking for a person who would do these medium readings, connections, whatever. And I could read through the list of recommendations, like, oh, come on, like everybody knows how to do this? Please. Maybe there are talented people, like not even talented, like, specially gifted people there. But I don't think there's that many.
No. But think about this though. What if though, Anya? What if it wasn't a scam or a hoax? Think about what if they really were making contact. What I think me and Becca are saying is that they could do that. They could. I mean, it's not completely fake, but I just don't know that I would trust even what you perceive.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, are you enjoying the show? Are you enjoying the books? Are you enjoying everything we're doing here at Blue Butterfly Enterprises? If so, go up to bluebutterflyenterprises.com and check out our store and buy some of our memorabilia. Wouldn't it be cool to have a Becca's World hat or t-shirt or coffee mug or a bumper sticker for your car? I'm gonna get one for my car when I get a car that I can drive.
Are you guys there?
Yeah, I'll put in my 2 cents because that might be all it's worth. But I personally look at it like, I too was raised in the church, and I believe it. I will admit I don't believe in aliens, but I do believe.
We have to talk about it, Paul.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't believe in aliens.
We should talk about that too on the show.
But I do believe in the Holy Spirit, and that there is a Holy Spirit, and I do believe that He is alive. But what I will say is, when it comes to mediums and psychics and a lot of things like that, here's what I'll ask: where was all the psychics before 9/11? Okay,
how dare you?
I mean, I don't want to get all real about it, keeping it real, but where was all them? You didn't hear anyone talking about how a tragedy was fixing to happen. They somehow missed that. So that's all I have to say about that.
Take any other big happening in the world, like any disaster or whatever. Yeah.
And they missed it.
I don't know.
But I will. What about the Witch of Endor though?
Who's that?
She is in the Bible. Saul kicked all the witches out, and then he went and consulted the Witch of Endor.
Who cares?
So what's your question?
Today's society, yeah.
What are you asking? Like, what is that appropriate, or what are you asking?
No, you said where were all the media? Okay, there was a medium back in biblical days.
Yeah, they had fortune tellers and stuff back then, and people telling the future and all that.
No, I understand what you're asking, and I do believe that some people do have, as we would, I don't want to get all religious on people, but I do believe that people can prophesy, if you will. But to Anya's point, I think a lot of times it's self-serving is what I think a lot of it is.
Oh, I agree. A lot of it is.
And that's where my issue is with it, is to serve the person who's doing it, not actually the people who it's intended to help.
Yeah,
I know, but I guess I would caution you guys. I think there are some people who genuinely could do it, but even that, I don't know if I would trust.
Yeah,
I've told my family, after I die, do not believe anything that you think you may or may not hear from me. It will not be me. Do not
Oh,
believe.
Brandon, what are you gonna do? Like you'll die and then you'll be like, oh no, I forgot to tell him where I left the important papers. I gotta tell him. You'll be trying to tell him through medium and they won't believe you.
Good. They
No,
shouldn't.
I'm with Brandon. Good. Don't
Just
no.
find
Cause,
it on your own.
no, because I'm with Brandon. Because when I'm dead, if I'm in heaven, what do I want to communicate? What do I want to communicate to you down here?
Don't
Nothing.
you ever stop talking?
I'm up there. I'm having a great time.
No, I agree.
I don't want to deal with
agree.
y'all people down here. I really don't. I hardly want to deal with y'all people, and I'm here. Oh, did I say that? Oops, sorry. So I mean, I don't know.
But I leave open the doorway though. Like if we're ever given reprieve to like, okay, you can go and visit Earth for a little bit. That won't damage you too much. I don't know why you'd want to go, but if you want to go, you can go visit Earth for a little bit. Like if that exists, but still, I don't want them to believe that that's me. I think there's way too much possibility that they'd be manipulated by a nefarious and manipulative force than it actually be.
You guys know what a doppelganger is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, that's
yeah. Is that
That's
what you're talking about, Brandon, when you say they may be manipulated by an evil force like a doppelganger or a demon or something?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
I mean, I was having a conversation with someone recently, and speaking of mourning, which we've really kind of not really discussed mourning as so much as we've discussed ghosts and that kind of a thing. But I was having a conversation with someone recently, and they were saying to me that they would not recommend that I talk to my friend who's passed because I don't know what kind of doors I could be opening up.
That's true. Yeah.
I think, I think that's a good piece of advice.
But what I will say is my aunt, her husband passed away, and she has a tough time with it, and so I can understand why she or anyone else or me or anyone else might talk to my friend or my wife who's gone. I personally do those subscribe to. Yeah, I don't know if that's really a good idea.
No, I feel like we shouldn't be reaching out to that other world voluntarily. If they have something to say, which does happen, people have prophetic dreams. I had some interesting dreams, and my godmother, she's very talented this way. Like her dreams often come true, and not every time, but often. Yeah, so if somebody wants to come and tell you something from that world, they will. But I don't think it's a good idea to reach out because you don't know what you're opening yourself to.
But do we know? I mean, we don't have to get into all this. But do we really like? People always say, "Oh, well, when someone passes away, they'll visit you in your dream." Do we really know that's them? I mean, what I mean by that is, could it just be that you're subconsciously thinking about that person so much? Maybe you miss that person so much that it's just.
But what if you haven't been
that your brain is creating the
dream? What if you haven't been thinking? Like my grandmother died when I was 13, and her son, which is my dad, he died in 1993. Actually, today would have been his birthday. So I was 2 when he died, and I hadn't been thinking about him for years like that, on days of remembrance for sure, but not on everyday basis. And then I had a dream. He showed up in my dream, and I don't remember all the details. I know we rode the train or something, and blah blah blah. I was like, wow, my grandpa. I mean, my dad was in my dream. I wonder what that means. Why did I think of him? Like, why did I dream of him? And then the following day, my grandma passes. I was like, wow, that is crazy. And some people were telling me, well, that's he came to get her. He was coming to. I don't know.
Maybe. That's really interesting. Because I do think dreams can be. Some people can see visions, if you will, through dreams. I will share this. As I mentioned, I grew up in a very Christian household, and at the time, my grandfather on my mother's side wasn't a believer in the Lord, and he had no plans on being a believer in the Lord. And one day he fell asleep. He had a dream that everyone in his family was on the train and he wasn't allowed to get on. And that changed his mind about accepting the Lord into his heart. And so that was a dream, and that impacted him for the rest of his life. So
Well,
yeah, I don't know.
also, just in answer to your question, Paul, I don't mean to rush any of us, but I'll say this: like, I do think that there does come a part of grieving in a time in the grieving or the mourning process when it can be overdone. When and so in short, like if people start to spiral downward, you know, we need to try to pull them out of that. So, and it's different for every person in every situation, right? But I mean, it's I don't know. And again, that gets into a spiritual component as well. You know, like is it easier for people who are people of faith or people who consider themselves spiritual? Is it easier for them to go through the mourning process? I don't know. I would tend to think that it is.
I with my recent situation, I feel like both of us was very uh, religious, if people want to call us that. Both of us, really had a strong belief in that, and I think that's really helped me a lot. But if I wasn't, I don't know how I would have gotten through my particular situation. And obviously, I'm not trying to make this about me, but I kind of agree. I mean, if you see someone who's mourning and all they're doing is drinking and drinking and drinking, and then they're not leaving the house, and they continue to do that, or they continue to do drugs to kind of numb
Well,
that
that's
pain.
unhealthy.
I think that's where you kind of maybe do got to step in. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to step in a
Yeah.
loving way, like, hey, Paul, what you're doing, this ain't really, some, you make it want to clean this up, but I don't know. I just found the conversation and kind of what I've been going through lately with myself and other people.
Well, if I may say, I actually heard this interesting thought from one religious person I was friends with, and Christians and some other religions believe, okay, so the person dies, and uh, it's the Lord calls them, right? So the
Mhm.
Lord called you, and then it was your time to go, right? And then when we here on earth get really sad about it, and we cry, and we just mourn, whatever, and they say, this is about us. We think of ourselves. How are we going to deal with this? We are dealing with this loss. That person is already out there. That person is with the Lord, or in heaven, or whatever we think them to.
At peace.
Yeah, at peace. So they're okay. But
In the state of nirvana, yeah.
yeah, and it's just about us. So it's, of course, it's sad when somebody passes, but we need to take the focus off of us and just be happy for the person who's already there. That was their time.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I do.
I agree with that. I really do. But that doesn't negate the fact that you may miss that person terribly. I mean,
Oh, of course. But it's just the idea that you adapt. You try to adapt the thought that, okay, that person is out there, so I miss them here, or but they're in a better place, like commonly people say, right?
oh
Yeah,
yeah. Mhm.
I don't like people that make a show of their mourning. Like
Yeah.
in January of 2012, a couple of weeks before I went to court to get out of that guardianship, I took the Greyhound bus all the way across the state of Montana to go to my grandma's funeral in Sydney, Montana. And I didn't tell anybody I was coming except my cousins who met me in Savage and picked me up at the bus station and then drove me into the church where the funeral was at, and the whole family, right? And I walked into the church with my cousins, Missy and Chrissy, and I have to tell you guys, I was so embarrassed because my mother, who I hadn't seen in a long time, like years, right? I could hear her up in the front of the church wailing at the top of her lungs and making a big spectacle out of her grieving for Grandma Jackie, who was her stepmother, who I never heard her say a good thing about Grandma Jackie behind her back when Grandma Jackie was alive. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do.
Uh,
Oh, I do.
And then she
Uh.
goes to Grandma Jackie's funeral, and Grandma Jackie has I haven't seen them in years, but she had at least two grown daughters, and she had grandchildren through them. Grandma Jackie did and stuff, and I'm sure all of them were up in the front too, right? And I was just really embarrassed that my mom was up there carrying on, making a spectacle of herself.
Well,
That.
go ahead.
See, and that's what I mean, like needlessly.
Mhm.
Yeah. See, like that's right. Just intentionally making it. It's not even honest and earnest and sincere
Mhm.
grief.
No, no,
But again,
and then there's the thing that happens, and this is probably for another topic. But then what happens is you learn, and I'm sorry if this offends people, but you know how you learn in terms of when someone passes away, you quickly learn how much your family or your friends' families, you know, you quickly learn how much family sucks. And what I mean by that
There is no racial bigotry here.
oh, it has nothing to do with race, but what it does have to do with, you find out that there's people in your family, or you see your friend's family go through this, and you find out that the people, all they're after is what they're going to get when that person dies. And every family, almost, I'm not going to say every, but in a lot of families, that happens. And you just see the most gross, despicable characteristics or character flaws, if you will, come out of people when they feel like they can get something.
yeah, it's a slightly different topic. But again,
Yes,
what
it
Becca,
is.
what Becca just described, and it ties back to your topic, Paul, about mourning. Like, does that person? Okay, I'm not saying, Becca, that your mom was sincere. I have no idea, and if you think she wasn't, she probably wasn't. I mean, but there are people. I've been at a funeral when I was little, maybe 5 or 6 years old, and our neighbor died, and her daughter was just going crazy. Her real daughter, like, she was sitting by the grave and she was crying. I thought she was very sincere, and it kind of impacted me so much. I was so afraid to go to funerals for a while after that.
Yeah.
Because she was just so. But again, if the question is like, is that okay to mourn it? Yeah, it was her way. It was her way of handling her stress, of handling her sadness.
I think though, what Becca, and I don't want to speak for you, but the thing that Becca, you said earlier, which is why I tend to side with Becca, where it was not sincere, was Becca's mom never said a nice thing about her stepmom ever. So why all of a sudden are you mourning and upset?
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I totally get that, and I don't negate that. I was just saying that there could be a case that might look like a spectacle, but might be real.
Yeah, that's
look,
true.
I don't want, I've been to a lot of funerals in my life, unfortunately, and I don't want people to see me that way personally. If I'm going to grieve, I want to do it on my own. I want to do it privately. I want to do it by myself. I'll talk to my close friends about it over the phone. But when I'm having those really, really bad moments, where there's water coming out of my eyes, I don't want nobody to see that. Nobody wants to watch that.
Right,
Yeah.
but again, people deal with grief differently, and some people just want to be left alone. Some people need company; they need somebody to be with them. They just
What I
can't.
will say, what did comfort me with my situation, and I think it's very comforting for a lot of people, is maybe not like crying in front of your friends, but if your friends allow, what I will say is, if your friends allow you to talk about that person and those memories you had with them, I think that's like super, super important.
Yeah.
Paul, do
Well-
you have memories you'd like to talk about with us?
No. I'm just saying
Okay.
that generally speaking. No.
Okay. I just
I
wanna
appreciate that. I actually genuinely do. Thank you so much. No.
We should have started the show with that topic, because we're gonna end it
On a sadder kind of note.
Actually, I can bring a little bit of hopeful optimism to the closure of the show. This comes from a hospice nurse. Don't if you know that someone's dying, if you know and they know that they, like, because with a terminal disease or something, don't say things like, "Oh, I know you're going to make it." or oh, I know somebody that also had blah 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 blah, and they beat it, so you're gonna beat it too. It's better just to kind of like what Paul's saying, let the person talk and just sit with the person and talk with the person about whatever they want to talk about. And even then, try to focus on what brings them joy, what brings them happiness. So,
yeah, that's good advice.
And that comes from a hospice nurse.
Yeah.
She's like famous on YouTube. I forget what's her name.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, hospice nurse. I don't want to say
Rachel or some name like that. I forget.
Yeah, but she's kind of getting famous though. She's trying to help people.
Yeah. Well, that was an interesting topic, I guess.
It was. We talked about haunted houses and ghosts and warning and all kinds of things went into this. Yeah, sounds like we're out of time at this point. I better go, Pat.
Yeah, thanks for joining me, guys. And ladies and gentlemen, be sure to email us at beccameadows76@gmail.com and let us know what you thought about the show. And please be sure to like, share, and subscribe and tell your friends about the show. Thank you so much for joining us. And peace out. Everybody have a great week.
Well, try not to depress you every week, okay?
Yeah.
Do you like slippers or not?
Thank you for watching Becca's World. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel.